everybody for joining. We had some technical difficulties, so we're just gonna roll with what we can do, which is pretty much what we're all doing right now anyway. So this is very appropriate. All right, so I am Miss Moody, and we have, yes,
Jametra Hinton.
Hey, and I'm Dr. Angel Dowden.
So for those who don't know, Mrs. Hinton and I are owners of M&M Educational Group, also known as M&M Tutoring Service. We are licensed and national board certified teachers who stepped away from the classroom, not completely, partially stepped away, to start our own company to support students and parents in their academic endeavors. We are teachers at heart, so we are truly trying to support every administrator and educational professional during this time, because this is interesting out here. Yeah, there's no cute way to say that. That is who we are. And Dr. Dowden, can you introduce yourself and give us some background on your company?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Angel Dowden, owner, operator, and therapist at Core Counseling and Consulting. Core is a mental health, boutique mental health office. We provide therapeutic support to clients ages 5 through geriatrics. Our office has been open since 2007. 2017. We currently have 2 therapists in the office. We are generalists working across individual counseling, group, couples, as well as families.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We all will benefit from your expertise and your advice as we try to navigate through this pandemic. And yep, we're just gonna keep it there. So the purpose of this video is to really, Dr. Dowden, allow you to share your advice, your suggestions with whoever is watching, which we hope you're encouraged and just can then walk away with some takeaways about how we can manage our mental health, both for ourselves, for children, if we're confined with them at home, your spouse, relatives, if you're completely by yourself and you're going crazy because you haven't had a hug in 2 weeks. We're all going through this in different ways. So thank you in advance for sharing your expertise, because yeah, it's a lot going on. So when we talked previously, you mentioned pretty much 4 basic suggestions or main suggestions that you have for all of us at home, even those who are still working and are trying to take care of ourselves. So we're gonna go through those 4 suggestions, and you can elaborate as we go through. So first, you suggested that everybody establish their own routine. So can you expound on that?
Yeah, I think it's important to establish a routine. We're home, our normal routines are off. And so I think the easiest way to be bored or to feel kind of out of the loop on things is to not have a routine. So maintaining a routine, a new normalcy routine, is healthy. It keeps us, we are creatures of habit, so it keeps us in a habitual movement. I think it's important to get up at a certain time, get dressed, eat your meals, and start your day. Establish healthy activities to engage in, whether it's spending time with family, reading a book, maybe reaching out to family and friends who may not be in the home with you, engaging in exercise, going for a walk, spending time in nature. But we definitely encourage the use of routines. I know that for school-age children, some school systems had a huge lapse in academic engagement, and but now that we're moving back into engagement, it's important that we utilize that time as if we are attending school, so that school-age children can stay involved and engaged and active in their education while parents continue to work from home or are off to work. But I think maintaining a routine is essential to healthy well-being during all that we're encountering.
So, I'm sorry, I thought Jametra said something. Is that something that we should be flexible with? Is that going to change from day to day, week to week? what are some kind of tangible things that parents can do to try to set up and establish those schedules? I'm sorry, Jametra, chime in whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's important to be patient and flexible with yourself in general. I agree. I think that, having a routine is very helpful, but we don't want you to put any undue stress or pressure on yourself trying to maintain that. So I think establishing one and working to achieve that is a great goal, but give yourself some latitude. And considering all that we're encountering, this is uncharted territory for us, and it's a lot of pressure on everyone, on children, on adults, on parents, just trying to navigate what we're encountering. So we don't want to add any pressure to what you're already going through. But if you're able to maintain a routine, we encourage that as much as possible.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Jametra, you two little ones. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to say kudos.
We're trying. And sometimes it starts off great. For the first few days we had a routine and trying to follow it, and then sometimes it falls by the wayside. So it depends on the day.
Yeah. You just have to kind of laugh and keep moving.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
All right. So moving on to the second suggestion, you said continue to reach out to family and friends. So can you expound on that?
Yeah, we talked about that with when we talked about the routine. We talked about making that a part of your routine. I think it's so important that we stay connected. As we talked about, humans being creatures of habit, we are also very connected to one another. We sometimes feel very autonomous or independent, but at our core, we are very connected to people, and that is a part of our energy lifeline, is our connections. And so, as you referenced at the beginning of our discussion, this is especially true if you live alone. And you've been in your house or apartment by yourself. It's so important that you FaceTime or you Google Meet or Google Hangout or Zoom with family and friends, that you check on their wellness, that they check on your wellness, that you guys just talk to each other, how everyone's doing, that you share, that you make time to laugh with friends and family, because that connection is what keeps us going. And so while we may not be physically connected, we can certainly be connected in other ways. And so we want to champion that.
That makes sense. I would say for me, I don't think I realized how much technology we had available to be able to video chat and record. I didn't know. I just, you just so used to texting, you don't realize you actually like seeing people. Because you're a human. Like seeing you. Although I miss hugs, I'm not trying to, spread anything. So we're not going to do that. But no, I can say for me personally, I just didn't realize how much we have access to. And I'm thankful that we do have this technology, because if we didn't,
it would be a different story.
I'd just be hanging out the window like, please, somebody say hi. I did see, I think I saw in the news or maybe in an article where I know some people have already done this with those who have had weddings scheduled and graduations, but doing like drive-by visits or, waving. I was like, oh, that is so cute. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead.
And I was going to say, especially if you have older relatives that you just want to check on, or maybe, a teacher that you're close to and you just want to say hi because, the babies missed them. I just, thought it was a really creative and a cute way just to say hello. That again, I wouldn't have thought of unless you were in a time like this where that really is your only option. So.
And I think it's important to be creative. And I was going to mention too, I think it was someone who was turning 90 years old, and they had a parade. It was like 20 cars, and they had signs, and everybody waving. It was beautiful. I mean, he was to tears. And you have to be creative in this time. And it is great that we do have the technology. It does make it, a lot better. But yeah, I'm sure those that are living alone, it does get lonely. So you do have to reach out, and I agree to check on them.
Yeah, and I would just pretty much to comment on what both of you said, just be considerate of those neighbors that you know that might live by themselves, or they're just older, or maybe they've been ill recently and they're in a compromised position. I think we all just have to, be more conscious, make sure that we're there for each other. So that's a great point. Number 3, you said stay active.
Yeah, we continue to build. Talk about being active, but being active is important. I think just getting out of the house is a great activity, whether it is going out into the yard and, maybe doing some gardening, I don't know, or, if you have an exercise routine or create an exercise routine for yourself during these times, going for a walk is a great way to stay active. Other activities, I was reading an article in the New York Times that talked about jigsaw puzzles. That has become the new craze, I think. There seems to be a shortage on jigsaw puzzles. If you go to the store, they're hard to find these days because
No, we don't run out of
have
puzzles.
been purchasing 500.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I think what we want to encourage is mental stimulation as well as a physical engagement. So whether you're doing a puzzle with your family, and that's a great way to socialize, or whether you're exercising and moving, we want you to stay active. Again, as a product of our humanity, it's important that we move. Stagnation slows us down mentally, emotionally, and physically. So we want to continue to mentally engage as well as physically engage.
And I think that keeps you away from the refrigerator too, because when you're sitting around being bored, you just want to go to the refrigerator. So, yeah, I think that's very important.
But with adolescents in the house, I feel like they are eating us out of our home currently.
Oh yes, yes. Snack, please. Snack, please. You just had one 2 minutes ago.
Go outside and run instead of.
Yes. So
I was gonna say I'm glad it is warm outside, because I think if it was colder,
yeah,
you really didn't have a choice but to stay inside the house.
Yeah.
So,
weather, but we are impeded here in North Carolina by the pollen.
yes.
That has made it difficult to stay outside long. So I'll be happy to see that go. Hopefully soon.
My car is yellow. Literally.
My daughter's eyes are just shut. She cannot see. So yeah, it's bad. I have never seen it like this before. So get rid of that, we'll be fine.
Absolutely. And I say personally, I appreciate all the artists giving all these free concerts and sessions. I have personally had some very nice quarantine workouts.
D-Nice.
Been a blast.
That's the new craze, I think. DJ sets, right? That's the new craze.
Let me tell you, I'm so glad there are no cameras in my room. When I say I have been on stage every night he has played, spotlight right here. It is me, myself, and I gone. But that's certainly been helpful. We have a friend that's been doing shout out to Dr. Josie. We have a friend who's been doing online Zumba classes throughout the week. So just having those moments to just get your mind off for a second. I can certainly agree that helps very much so.
I told someone, I don't think my calendar's been this full. I think it was Sunday. I said I got up to go to church in the morning and a gospel explosion at 1, and then I went to a day party and then a comedy show at night. I'm like, I'm busy.
This is great.
I haven't left my house.
Fine. I'm having a ball.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. Thank you for entertaining us, because it helps. It does.
So much. Fourth, you suggested to participate in online learning or some sort of professional development.
Yeah, I think this is important, and we have the time to do it. So again, back to the mental stimulation piece. I think for school-age children, their engagement in their school activities online, we have to ensure that they're doing that. They can often lose focus or feel uninterested in those activities, but we want to maintain their interest and engagement in online learning, whether it's their school or whether we're doing some additional homeschooling for them during these times. I think in addition to that, for parents or for adults, professional development, there are so many webinars that have become more available and more accessible during these times. Professionals in various fields know that this is a way for us to take advantage of enhanced learning because we have the time now. So I've been seeing more and more information about webinars and opportunities to take advantage, and we really should. This is a great time to read a good book. Find the thickest book that's out and say, hey, I'm gonna read this 800-page book. What else? I have the time to do so now. So pull it off the shelf and read a good book, engage in a webinar, or be engaged in active online learning.
Makes sense. I have heard a lot of kind of inspirational people and pastors and motivational speakers just say, like, figure out what you can do, like what you actually can accomplish during this season, and just be determined to do something, regardless of the situation that we find ourselves in. So I know that can be easier said than done, depending on each person's situation, but I would assume having some sort of motivation to be able to say, I finished this book, or I learned how to sew, or I can now play this song on the piano, or I ran a mile. I'm sure that can at least help motivate yourself, if nothing else. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said something. So specifically pertaining to mental health,
yeah,
we had discussed some things, and I'm sure, again, for various reasons, any minute of the day, our minds are all over the place trying to figure out how to decipher what the news is saying versus what my neighbor across the street is saying in the newspaper, and we get alerts on our phone. There's a lot happening beyond just us trying to get through the day just as human beings. So just to go through some general questions specifically pertaining to mental health. So what should someone do if they notice their mood, or someone in their family that they're confined with? If they notice moods changing, what should they do if they have a concern?
Well, just to first talk about mood shifts, what that could look like. For one, it could look different for each person, but some general tips to look for maybe just, feeling irritable, having maybe a low frustration tolerance, which speaks to irritability. If you just feel very frustrated or irritable, if you're feeling sad for an extended amount of time, or if your energy level is low, you don't feel like going for a walk, you don't feel like getting out of the bed in the morning. If there's a shift in your appetite, if you're eating more or you're eating significantly less, if you're not wanting to reach out and talk with family or friends, if you're wanting to isolate yourself more, or you find the isolation to cause a bit of stagnation, your energy level is low. Those are all signs and symptoms that you can assess for yourself, but also a family member that's in the home with you could look for in another family member, such as their child. If your sleep pattern is significant, I think that's important. We find that there has been a shift in our sleep patterns. As a result, we may be staying up later and waking up later in the morning. But if we're seeing excessive shifts in our sleep pattern, where we're sleeping all day or well into the middle of the day, we're getting well over 9 or 10 hours of sleep, we may be concerned about how that's connected to our mood. And so if you live alone or you're an adult, you may want to pick one trusted person that you can discuss this with. You can tell them about your mood and what your concerns are. It helps if they can provide you healthy feedback, or that can help you to reflect and determine or process what you may need to do about that. If you're a parent and you're noticing these things in your child, it's important that you talk with them about what's going on. Help them to become more aware of what you are noticing and assess what those signs or symptoms may be connected to. if you see it over an extended amount of time. We've currently been, I guess, in isolation or social distancing for about, give or take, a month now. I think 3 weeks going on a month or so now.
Yeah.
So if you see that over this amount of time or an extended amount of time, it may be necessary to reach out to a mental health provider for support or consultation potentially initially, and then may also be coming in for some therapeutic support. And when I say coming in, I mean virtually meeting. Most mental health providers are providing telehealth or telecounseling services at this time where you can take advantage of therapeutic support virtually.
Okay. And I like the point you made about choosing at least one person that you trust to give you feedback, because I do, as we all know, there's a stigma around mental health in any regards, just period. But I'm sure some people will just say, oh, that's normal because you're not getting sun or you're not getting this, that, and the other. But I think it would help to be able to talk to somebody that you really trust to have your best interest, to be able to say, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that part. So I hope everybody does have at least one person that won't just gloss over that and just say, oh, girl, you just need to watch a movie or, drink some water. You're like, okay, but this is day number 5. So yeah, I do hope everybody heeds that advice, especially if you're alone, or I would assume even if you're caring for somebody and you might just feel alone because you're literally doing everything yourself. So yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. For those who are at home with their kids all day,
Yeah,
literally all day, and they actually want their kids and their spouse, if they do have one or significant other, to stay around afterwards, after all is said and done. What are some things? What are some things that they can do to manage their stress?
Yeah, I think it's important that everyone get a little bit of me time. I know we're in the house and we're together, but it's so important that you be able to go into your bedroom maybe and read a book for an hour by yourself and get some time away, or make a phone call and talk with a friend for 30 minutes or so, and get that time. Or you may just need some personal space, whatever you like to do in that personal space. It could be meditation or prayer, but I think personal space and personal time is important, to rejuvenate, to feel rested, to feel relaxed, and so that you're able to give more to your family once you step back into that communal setting. So, we often think, we need to give to others, which is so very important, but we also have to give to ourselves. So making time for ourselves and carving out time where we can relax and rejuvenate is important, and whatever that might look like for you, whatever you enjoy doing in order to relax and rejuvenate. And so make that a part of your routine and carve out time for yourself daily.
That makes sense. I can say, just on a personal note, I'm learning how to communicate much more clearly.
Yeah.
When you have to see people so much, I think you
Mhm.
get a little bit better at saying, no, this is what I need.
That's
We
right.
all want to survive. So yes, agree on that. Any other thoughts? Any nuggets that you want to leave with people? Again, there's so much we can talk about, but you being a mental health professional, any suggestions you want to offer people, as each of us are just adjusting to this, whether it's a nurse that's actually on the front line or somebody that's just, they have a 5-year-old and they're trying to make sure that they don't pull their hair out before the night's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I think it's important that we be patient with ourselves, and we understand that this too shall pass. And so, understanding that this won't last forever. We know that this is hard, but it's important that we pace ourselves, that we be patient with ourselves and others, friends and family members, and that we really seek out support when needed. Like you said, it's important that we're able to articulate ourselves if we need support, that we're able to say it, and then we're able to take the necessary steps to achieve that. I really see mental health as a prevention mechanism. We often
Yes.
engage in mental health as an intervention when something is wrong and reach out,
Yes.
but it should certainly be more of a prevention opportunity.
Mhm.
We maintain our wellness, our physical wellness. We go for physical checkups. We go in often for routine care, but we don't do the same for our mental health. I encourage clients, their family members to, make a monthly appointment with their therapist to come in to just maintain their self-care and wellness. Your listeners can develop a self-care plan, and their self-care plan may include things like, how will I maintain my spiritual wellness? How will I maintain my physical wellness? How will I maintain my emotional and social wellness? And create things that you can do that feed your spirit or that encourage emotional wellness or social engagement. And those things may be, picking up the phone and talking with a friend and having a good laugh at least once a week, or it may include having an exercise routine, getting up in the morning 30 minutes early in order to exercise, or it may include virtually participating in your church service on Sunday mornings, or daily prayer, or daily meditation, or reading your favorite scriptures to kind of help you, or journaling, or engaging in some type of gratitude opportunity. But all of those can be daily rituals or routines, or weekly or monthly routines that help to prevent a breakdown in our mental health. And I think therapeutic support should be a part of that. We have to remove the stigma associated with mental health. Our mental health is as important as our physical health. They engage with one another. If our physical health diminishes, so does our mental health. If our mental health diminishes, so does our physical health. And so ensuring that both are well is important, and we can't negate our mental health, and we have to remove the stigma that surrounds it.
So true.
That was well put. I don't even have anything to. Yes. Yes. Along those lines, we want to kind of highlight any free resources for those who they're on a budget, or their job is in jeopardy. So I believe you said that reaching out to a school counselor
Yes.
would be a good option, which at this point I would assume they'd be pretty flexible.
Well, a couple things. The school counselor for your student, your school age child. The school system has set up virtual opportunities for them to engage in academic support and engagement, but also through that, they have ways that you can reach out to the school counselor through those same HIPAA compliant platforms that they're using for academic engagement. It's my understanding that there are buttons that say student support services, where someone will follow up with you, or you can make a virtual, school counselors are holding virtual office hours. And so you can set up an appointment to meet virtually with your school counselor. I think it's important that students take advantage of those, just like they could talk to their school counselor if they were at school.
Yes.
They can certainly do that virtually as well. And I'm so happy to hear that schools have set those types of services up. Parents can also utilize that. School counselors often create community maps. This is a community resource list of
Okay.
outreach services or referral support services within 25 miles of the school. That's generally within the school zone, the zoning area for that school, that parents and their children can take advantage of. So that would be a first point of contact, I think. But also, mental health support services are available. Many offices are providing various levels of care. Some pro bono support is available. That's, I think, a healthy question to ask if you contact a mental health office: is, do you provide pro bono support during these times? Or if not, are you able to provide some resources that possibly do? Also, many mental health offices are waiving co-payments. They are billing the insurance provider, but are waiving the co-payments, because we recognize that so many families have parents who have lost a job or who may have had their hours decreased, and financial impact that could be having on the family. So that's another healthy question, I think, to ask when you call a mental health provider. But I think it's important that you definitely reach out for care and don't feel embarrassed or ashamed to have to do so during these times.
Awesome. Thank you for all the resources and suggestions. Jametra, you have anything to add before we go?
I'm glad you did mention as far as the school counselors, because especially now, I think it's very important for the students to reach out and use those services that they're available to. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Dr. Dowden, thank you so much for just sharing your brilliance with us.
Well, thank you so much.
Beautiful day.
It's a great opportunity. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So can you give us your contact information, social media platforms, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so our website is corecounselingconsulting.com. So it's www.corecounselingconsulting.com. Please visit our website for our office number as well as our email information. And you can send us a message from the website. But please call our office to inquire about services. The office number is 984-200-6058. Our office is located in Raleigh off of 6 Forks Road. And so we are in the middle of the triangle, and we are here and available to virtually work with families during these times and after.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And again, as I said at the beginning, I'm Miss Moody.
And I'm Mrs. Hinton.
We are owners of M&M Educational Group, otherwise known as M&M Tutoring Service. We can be reached at 984-888-0141, or you can visit our website, which is mmedugroup.org. We are, again, here to support students and parents as much as possible while school is out. We are offering different types of virtual sessions for various subjects and for all grade levels. So please, if nothing else, just reach out for help. That's one thing I think that pretty much covers the spectrum. Just if you have any questions as a parent, a student, if you're a healthcare professional and you're just not feeling quite, well regarding your mental health, if you're quarantined by yourself, if you are taking care of your entire household, wherever situation you find yourself in, I can assure you you're not by yourself. And we really just wanted to post this video just as some additional support for our clients, and then for anyone who sees this video, just to know you're not alone, and just reach out for help if needed, because trust me, we are certainly all in this together. So again, thank you, Dr. Dowden.
Thank you.
For all your suggestions and advice. And everybody, stay well and stay safe. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.